And as the excitement builds out here at the Open,
a mid-air emergency rocked passengers.
Arizona must decide by tomorrow on whether or not to sign the drought contingency plan.
Well, 12 News is everything Arizona.
For top Arizona stories anytime.
Cronkite News starts now.
Red Cross is helping people up north with 3 emergency shelters. Volunteers are offering a warm place to get snacks, cots, and care at shelters in Kingman, along with the Pine and Payson areas.
Luckily, the shelters were in place before this historic storm swept the high country. Many hotels in northern Arizona are booked solid, leaving many people with no place to stay.
The American Red Cross is supporting people across Arizona right now with shelters, warming stations. We could not be more proud of our volunteers, our donors, everybody that makes it possible for us to come together and help people. This is a huge storm impacting a lot of people, and the Red Cross is there.
Yeah, they really go above and beyond. You can go to 12news.com for the very latest updates on emergency shelter locations. The trial has finally begun for a man accused of killing a Gilbert police officer nearly a decade ago. Attorneys gave opening statements in the trial of Christopher Redondo. Redondo is accused of shooting Police Lieutenant Eric Schuhandler in 2010 after the officer pulled him over for having an obscure license plate. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty.
Arizona must decide by tomorrow on whether or not to sign the drought contingency plan.
If Arizona agrees, it'll reduce the amount of water the state gets from Lake Mead in order to help stabilize water levels at the Colorado River.
All of the drought contingency bills need to be approved by both the House and Senate before the governor can sign them into effect. The legislature has until midnight tomorrow to make a decision.
No water.
All right, some money lines now. Arizona is teaming up with a Delaware-based company to create hundreds of jobs for people with disabilities. The Phoenix Precision Project will provide training and placement services for adults with autism and other disabilities as well. They will open an innovation and technology center right here in the Valley. The goal of the Phoenix Precision Project is to create 500 jobs over the next 4 years. And the Point Hilton Squaw Peak Resort in Phoenix has been sold for $51.4 million. The resort underwent $8 million in renovations in 2017. It was sold to Fortress Investment Group of New York. Former President Barack Obama even stayed there during his visit to the Valley in 2015.
Well, Macayo's is closing its 2 Las Vegas restaurants after almost 60 years. That leaves only 8 of the restaurants left, all of them here in Arizona. Macayo's is one of the oldest family-owned restaurants in the Valley. Macayo's Vegas posted on their Facebook page Tuesday that the restaurants would be closing down for good.
And as the excitement builds out here at the Open, things are getting a little creepy in downtown Phoenix right now. Mummies invaded the Arizona Science Center this morning. They were escorted by the Phoenix Police Department. If you have the guts, the traveling exhibit called Mummies of the World opens on February the 10th.
The mummies arrived at the museum from Budapest and Hungary. It is the largest collection in the world and will be on display here in Phoenix until September the 2nd, so you've got plenty of time to check it out. Well, thanks everyone for putting your trust in us. Remember, 12 News is always on at 12news.com and our social media channels.
See you back here at 6. All right, well, next on First at 4, a wife goes viral on Facebook for throwing her husband an unlikely party. Why one family is saying, snip, snip, hooray.
Plus, a bridesmaid makes the mistake of a lifetime. How Southwest Airlines stepped up to save a bride's big day. Next on First at 4:30, caught on camera, 2 dogs lend a helping paw during their owner's life or death situation.
And the social media influencer phenomenon is in full force.
Coming up on Cronkite News, find out how Hispanic influencers are using their platforms to bring in big bucks.
And did you call in sick today because of the Super Bowl? Let us know by voting in our live interactive poll on the Cronkite News Twitter page. The latest results just minutes away.
And how to spot a heart attack before it's too late. We share the 5 most common symptoms that could save someone's life. First at 4:30, drive your way to 10K, the rideshare company that's offering massive bonuses to loyal employees.
Snow is an Asian American dessert shop. We specialize in shaved snow ice. It's kind of like a cross between ice cream and yogurt, but it has a cotton candy texture. We mix, the flavors with specific formula ingredient that helps break down ice crystals. The shaved snow is kind of like a 2.0 version of what Chinese shaved ice was, because the original Chinese shaved ice is crushed sugar ice. The 2.0 version is when the fused flavor came in, turned into more of a flavorful shaved snow dessert that catered more to Americans' palates. There's a 3-part system, choose a flavor. The second step is choose toppings. The third is glaze it with a drizzle. Or you can just pick our combos that we have preset. So the Gacha Matcha, it comes with red bean, mochi balls, and condensed milk. Matcha is more of a traditional Asian flavor. It's fine grinded tea leaves. Red bean is dessert beans that has this kind of a soft texture. So the Phoenix Fire is mango fruit with pineapple, chamoy, tahini. Candy floss is cotton candy snow with marshmallows, sprinkles, and blueberry glaze. The Zookeeper combo is strawberry snow with circus animal cookies, Oreo cookies, and condensed milk. I like the Purple Rain, which is taro snow with almond cookies, taro pudding, and condensed milk. Taro is a flavor that's crossed between coconut and vanilla. It's more of a traditional Asian dessert. I've been in Phoenix for 15 years already. I'm a Phoenician now, but where I grew up in LA, there was heavy Asian community. I want to share a little part of what I grew up as dessert. It was a joke that turned into an idea turned into reality. Felt like Phoenix was starting to get ready, open mind of diverse desserts. I felt like it was time to introduce Phoenix to this dessert. Being in downtown, it just adds that fun factor to what's going on in downtown right now, because downtown Phoenix is just transitioning, progressing. We wanted to introduce those Asian flavors to the diverse community, And I think Asian desserts right now are very, very popular. It's like a party in your mouth and everyone's invited, I guess.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
16 states filed lawsuits against the federal government over President Trump's national state of emergency. We'll have reaction from our representatives in Congress.
Plus, we're in Safford at a methadone clinic that's serving patients with opioid use disorder in rural areas of the state. That story is just ahead.
And we were nearly 15 degrees below average for this time of year. Will there be a warming trend this week? Your Valley forecast coming up.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Haley Brand.
And I'm Bayan Wang. Thank you for joining us. For those addicted to opioids who live in the more rural part of our state, there's an additional hurdle to fighting addiction. They have to travel several hours each day to receive treatment.
Cronkite News reporter Bryce Newberry met one family near the New Mexico border and followed along on their trip to a methadone clinic.
Yeah, this is something Maggie Phillips has done for years. It's part of the routine in her family. But she said for people still addicted to opioids and even considering this type of treatment, it's a huge commitment to get started.
Now, Maggie is not alone. Addiction is a problem all across the state of Arizona. So, Bryce, are there any other locations for these clinics across the state?
Yeah, so a lot of other companies do operate in the state, but Community Medical Services is the largest one in Arizona. They actually operate 12 different locations, and they're working on opening 6 more clinics in rural areas like Sierra Vista, Nogales, and Yuma.
Thank you, Bryce. For almost 2 decades, visitors and employees of the Grand Canyon Museum Collection Building passed by paint buckets. Little did they know they potentially may have been exposed to radiation, as these buckets stored uranium rocks. The rocks have since been removed, but in an email sent to employees only 2 weeks ago, the Safety, Health, and Wellness Manager, Elston Stevenson, warns employees the rocks were stored between the year 2000 and June 18th of 2018. Stevenson says he had repeatedly asked national park executives to tell the public about their findings and the risks to both the public and employees, but got no responses.
16 states are now suing President Trump over his national emergency declaration.
Austin Westfall is live with the latest on the lawsuit. Austin?
Yeah, the lawsuit was filed Monday evening and is being headed by California Attorney General Javier Becerra. Over the weekend, the Center for Biological Diversity, the Border Network for Human Rights, and the American Civil Liberties Union all announced lawsuits. So far, the Justice Department has made no public comment. Austin Westfall, Cronkite News.
The March for Our Lives movement is moving from protest to legislation. Students from the organization have now begun working with lawmakers to improve school safety here in Arizona. Reporter Tavia Madison spoke with bill sponsors about the possible changes. The House Public Safety Committee is expected to take up the bill tomorrow.
Now let's send things over to Lauren Sheeler for the latest on the snow slamming the high country this week. Lauren?
And it's an intense winter storm coming our way, looking like snow up north for Wednesday morning, late afternoon, bringing us rain to the valley. Biggest difference in precipitation type coming from the massive difference in elevation. And we're seeing best rain chances looking like Thursday to Friday for us, but they're taking a hard hit up north. We're not just talking inches of snow. No, we're talking maybe a foot, even 2 feet in places like Payson looking like almost 2 feet. Show Low, same goes for you. Flagstaff and Prescott looking like a foot. The Grand Canyon looking like half a foot to a foot. And residents all over the state are taking to social media to show the snowy conditions up in their area in southern Arizona, actually from the city of Elgin. This ranch doesn't seem to be in commission right now. Well, over in Tucson, look at this. We have this beautiful mountain view with a light blanket of snow, and in northern Arizona, one post shows us a time lapse driving through the town.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, a bill tries to expand how you can have virtual visits to the doctor. We talk to a doctor who uses telemedicine technology with patients.